Hi everyone, I'm with a news station. It is 10 p.m. here on the West Coast. Hope you're having a good start to your weekend. We are not in the clear yet when it comes to this potential tsunami threat. Earlier today, there was an 8.8 magnitude earthquake that struck off the coast of Russia. That's thousands of miles away from us, but it was very powerful. The U.S. Tsunami Warning Center did issue a tsunami advisory for the West Coast, including here in California. They have now downgraded that to a tsunami watch. And what that means is, we are still under the threat of a possible destructive wave coming to the coast of California between now and 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. That window is going to continue to shrink. And hopefully by tomorrow morning, this threat will be completely over. But we just want to get the facts straight. The West Coast is still potentially under a tsunami threat due to that massive earthquake that happened earlier today. Big picture here. We've got that earthquake that happened earlier today. You can see how far away it was from the coast of California, thousands of miles away. But the Pacific Ocean is a big ocean. A tsunami advisory was issued because of this. And then you can see our coastline right there. A tsunami watch now means that we are not expecting a destructive wave, but we could still see some coastal flooding and some high surf. Let's take a look at the latest timeline here. Tsunami waves, if they were to come to the coast of California, would be arriving between midnight and 1 a.m. That window continues to shrink. And the reason why that's important is because those waves, once they get closer, we can kind of time it better. Right now, we're just trying to prepare everybody and let people know to take cover if needed. If you live in a coastal community, you are most likely familiar with this map. If not, let's take a look. You can see the darker blue areas here. Those are the inundation zones. And what that means is that if water were to come ashore, those areas would be hit first. So you can see how close to the beaches those are. The lighter blue areas, that's where you would see the highest wave action. So even if water doesn't come ashore, there would be large waves crashing into the beaches in those areas. This is really important information because we don't want anybody getting hurt, especially if water does come ashore. This is one of those maps that you might want to take a photo of or save on your phone so you can have it if you need it. Here's the latest from the National Weather Service. We are still under a tsunami watch, and the message here is this. A strong earthquake has occurred in the Bering Sea near Russia. Farther south, the earthquake was felt in California. Strong currents and unusually high or low tides are possible along the west coast of the United States and Canada during the next several hours. People in coastal areas should remain weather aware and monitor this situation closely. I'll show you this graphic again because it's really important. Coastal areas, strong currents, unusually high or low tides are possible through Saturday morning. That is important information because that is different than a tsunami warning. Like I said, we're not expecting destructive waves, but definitely get ready for some big waves possibly coming to shore. If you're heading out to the beach tonight, do not go in the water. Do not let your kids or pets go in the water. If you're taking a walk along the beach, be prepared to get out of there quickly if water starts coming ashore. Here's what that looks like on our KTVU Genie. You can see that earthquake epicenter thousands of miles away from San Francisco. There's San Francisco. Here's Oakland, San Jose, Sacramento. That earthquake was felt all the way down in Southern California and all the way up through Washington State. Even Oregon felt that earthquake. But the West Coast is really the area of concern right now. The last update we got from the U.S. Tsunami Warning Center. This is as of 7:30 tonight. The West Coast in Canada, British Columbia, California, Oregon, Washington. The Eastern Pacific Tsunami Warning Center is canceling the tsunami warning. However, a tsunami watch remains in effect. Tsunami conditions are possible. In other words, we are still under the threat of seeing tsunami waves. But they're probably not going to be destructive. Maybe some coastal flooding. Definitely some large waves crashing into the beaches. That's what we're looking at here. You can see this earthquake is pretty close to Japan. Even closer to Russia, obviously. The country of Russia. Here's California. Here's Hawaii. That earthquake was also felt over there. Tsunami waves, if they were headed this way, would be coming right over those islands. Right now, we are not expecting any tsunami waves to come to Hawaii. One of the things we're monitoring, though, is the tides. Tomorrow morning, we are going to see very high tides, much higher than normal, about 6 to 8 inches above normal. And that could cause some problems, especially with the big waves crashing in. So coastal flooding, maybe some road closures. And that's the type of thing we're watching for. Here's a look at the tides tomorrow morning. You can see the timestamps there. These are the high tide predictions. And these are very high tides. These are normally about 6 inches, maybe less depending on where you are. You can see these are much, much higher. Santa Cruz, Monterey, Half Moon Bay, Pacifica, San Francisco, San Jose, all the way down to Los Angeles. The tides are going to be much higher than normal tomorrow morning. So if you're planning on going to the beach to watch the sunrise, don't go down to the water. Definitely be on the sidewalks away from the water. You never know when a large wave could come ashore. So that's something we're watching. Another thing we're watching is this earthquake. Now, a lot of people might think it's over. It's not. Aftershocks are still possible. Earthquakes happen in swarms, and what that means is they happen in groups. We had a 7.4 magnitude earthquake earlier today. Then we had a bunch of aftershocks, including a 5.9 magnitude earthquake. Now another big one just hit. This one was 5.8. Still pretty strong. And this is the concern. These keep hitting, and they're keeping each other alive. Kind of goes back to the original bigger one. We have to watch for more big ones. These earthquakes are still happening. As long as there's movement, there could be more big ones. That's the concern. So here's the latest on the aftershocks. One just hit. Another one hit about an hour ago. Then you can see them just keep hitting. We've got 4.5, 4.2, 5.9. This one was 7.4, another 5.8. So there's still a lot of movement. So here's how it looks on our KTV Eugenie. You can see the progression of all these earthquakes over time. Again, this is concerning. So they're still happening. The larger ones are dying out. You would hope, but there could still be some surprises. We are going to be passing that information along to you. Our website, ktvu.com, is being updated constantly with the latest information from the National Weather Service. Also, we have a meteorologist who is in contact with the National Weather Service. She's getting the latest information as well. We've got a full crew on standby tonight just in case anything else happens. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have somebody down at the coast just in case water comes ashore. We've got somebody ready to cover that. So we're taking this pretty seriously. Hopefully it's nothing, but we want to be ready just in case. Hopefully you've got a plan in place. Know where you're going to go if you need to evacuate. Make sure your phone is charged. Have some flashlights handy just in case the power goes out. And make sure you've got a battery-powered NOAA weather radio, that it's going to be your lifeline in the event of an emergency, because it will continue to broadcast information even if the power goes out. We'll keep you posted. Just in case this is something that you want to share with family members, feel free to do so. We're going to pass the information along just in case. Share this video. Share our updates. Everybody needs to be on the same page here. Again, I'm with the news station. It is 10 p.m. here on the West Coast. Enjoy the rest of your night. Stay away from the beaches.